Thank you for watching this video. This is Jay Livingood. I'm the president and founder of Yellow Dog Software. Wanted to give you some background. I know you're going to step into a full product demonstration with one of my sales guides, but I wanted to give you a little bit of information about who we are, how we got to where we are, and where we're heading. So with that, let's take it away here. So let me tell you a little bit about Yellow Dog. We're based in Norfolk, Virginia. So I started it back in 2006. Originally, it was a hospitality focus. We were getting pulled into a lot of resorts and hotels and kind of gaming type needs. So back in 2006, really, it's just a couple of us. It was a classic bootstrap opportunity. Fast forward to today, and we're at 31 employees, 27 of which are here in our corporate office. The other 4 used to work here, and life has moved them out. We think that's important because there's a lot that we learn and communicate by having everyone right here. It's also how we can escalate issues very quickly. You literally walk down the hall, you can hear of things going on, and you can intervene. So it makes us very responsive just because communication is really easily done and it's effective here at Yellow Dog. We've got over 600 clients, over 1,000 properties for those clients, and well over 2,000 stores within those properties. We've got an install in every state, and we're in some foreign countries, really North America, the US, Canada, a little bit in the Caribbean. Those are kind of our focus areas, but we can do some other, outside the US installs and support as well. I am the single owner. I own 100% of Yellow Dog. We've run the company debt-free, and that has enabled us to behave the way we want, act the way we want, be nimble and responsive to our customers. I don't envision that changing. There's obviously a lot of talk about venture capital and that type of thing, and I fully realize that the culture and the approach that we have is because of my ownership structure and my values and beliefs. And so I expect to continue that for a long time to come. And if you met me and you asked me who is Yellow Dog, I tell you we're a software company, but we're focused on providing inventory in the hospitality and retail sectors. We haven't branched out. We've a little bit of a hedgehog in terms of staying committed to doing one thing and doing it really well. So the one product you will get with us, we put it on our website, but just something you need to know is that I have trained in the culture regarding our sales process that really we're helping you select the right product. Of course, we hope it's us, but we're not requiring that it's us. We're going to do our best job to show you what we have and let you make the best decisions you can. And if we're not the right solution, then that's great, good for everyone, but we really want to make sure your selection is good, and if you do pick us, that we're the right solution for you. And then safety, we realize that if you are making a buying decision, you are making a buying decision that puts some reputation on it, and we know that you've got to get to go live to achieve those business results that you're expecting. So we totally understand it. This is not a bait and switch game or a quick sell game. We are looking at adding clients, getting them to a go live, being successful with their product as they intended. And then lastly is security. We've been in business 13 years. We've had clients for 13 years. The only way you can do that is if you secure that investment. And it seems really simple, but a lot of companies don't do this well, which is you obviously have to keep up with technology. You have to continually reinvest and build out and enhance your software to make it better, faster, easier for folks, and to take care of new business challenges that come up and new needs that are there. So obviously our longevity shows that we're committed to the long play here. So what do we offer? Typically, we're either providing a retail inventory need, a food and beverage need, and occasionally we'll do a non-point of sale need. Really, our focus is on the retail and food and beverage, the non-POS, the warehouse. We'll do it if it makes sense, but really our focus is on the retail and food and beverage sectors. So deploying our system, we can easily manage a single retail store. We can also scale up to manage, multiple stores. So if you've got a single restaurant or multiple restaurants, we can handle that kind of growth. Our pricing is designed in such a way that our single outlet price is very affordable. And then as you add locations, well, each location, pays their fair share. If you need to add a commissary or a warehouse, we can help you do it. We do sell the same software to all of our clients, so we may have some really outstanding brands, and our independent or single location gets the exact same software as these larger brands. So the solution usually includes three things. Typically, most of our clients these days have us use our private cloud hosting system. I think in 2018, just about almost 100% of all our clients went that route. So that's a very popular option. No server on site, easy to set up, easy for us to support. A whole host of reasons for that. There's client software, and we can provide that as a native Windows application, or if you use a Macintosh computer, we can provide it through a remote app access. So Mac or Windows, not a problem. And then we have some mobile apps. There are three of them. They run on either iOS or Android, and they really facilitate counting of product for either retail or food and beverage uses. Typically for physicals, but you can count product to turn it into purchase orders, receipts, invoices, a host of other things in our system. And then there's our Yellow Dog mobile back office, which is really meant to do some of the core workflows that way back in time you had to use the client software for, but now with mobile apps you're able to receive in transfers, issue transfers, check up items, do markdowns, a lot of things that you can do in mobility now. So the core client has a number of workflows. Now, as you get into a demonstration, my guys are going to walk you through this. We won't be able to detail this in this demo. This is just more of an overview. But these are the main areas of creating and managing items, your entire purchasing workflow, your physical process. There are some worksheets that handle kind of some mass workflows of creating multiple POs for multiple locations or doing transfers out to all of your outlets. The reporting's super detailed. There's over 300 reports. You can save them. You can automate them, get those emailed to you on a frequency of your choosing. And then, of course, there's all the setup information. I would tell you, I'd recommend at least an hour for the demonstration, because as you start stepping through these areas, you'll definitely want to take your time with the sales guide and take a look at it. Mobile apps. I mentioned we have three. This gives a little bit more detail. Again, our sales guide will walk you through it, but we have our counting retail, which is really a barcode-driven counting process. We have our counting for food and beverage, which is really sheet to shelf, where you're going to walk into an area and you're going to see those products in an order that will make your entry of your counts as efficient and as fast as possible. And then we have our YD mobile, where you can see some of the things that it can do for you. Of course, we have barcode printing ability. That's part of our system. We can provide the printers. We can provide the media. Really, it's any type of, do you need a hang tag? Do you need adhesive labels? The format of the barcode, the text, the fonts, the colors, the underlining, that type of thing, all that's controlled by our software, so very flexible. There's also some item lists, so if you need a catalog under your arm when you're doing a physical or meeting with a vendor, or quick scan sheets at a register, those are great uses for that. You're probably either have an existing point of sale system or you're entertaining a new one. We really do two types of integrations, either a two-way to facilitate retail or a one-way to facilitate food and beverage. The two-way, we push in any retail items, we push them into the point of sale so they can be sold. And then in both of those, we get all the sales data back. So in food and beverage, we can take that sales data. We may map it to a menu item. We may map it to a recipe, or we may just be mapping it to a cost of goods sold account. A couple of different ways we can do that. Some other integrations, we do support vendor EDI invoice downloads, typically in a food and beverage environment, although some C-stores and some retail supports it. We've got 80 direct sync applications that we've built. So 80 of the mainline guys. Our website has all of our current vendors that you can see. And we will build new ones. If your vendor supports EDI and it's new to us, we'll go ahead and build that at really a nominal cost. for a particular deal. We work with some consolidators like Plate IQ, so they can help consolidate your invoices. There's some great business reasons for that. We also can get that data, particularly the invoices, out to your accounting system. So we can process the invoice from the vendor, basically transpose it and put in all of your general ledger accounts and information, and then present it to your accounting system for direct import. In retail environments, we can even present other things like cost of goods sold and inventory adjustments as well. Our retailers, we support e-commerce integration really to all the mainline e-commerce solutions like Shopify, Magento, WooCommerce, and BigCommerce. It's to us, it's similar to a point of sale. It's a two-way integration where we're able to push up the menu or push up the retail item along with specific web properties, along with pictures that have been captured within Yellow Dog. So it can be fully automatically formed in your e-commerce solution without you having to do a second step. And then as orders are placed, we retrieve those, we update inventory, we update the on hands. So it's a true kind of two-way integrated approach. Sales and catering, we work with a couple of different companies. Depending on the company, it can be a one or a two-way integration of pushing in the items that are sold or mapping against what is sold through the sales and catering system. We've got a full API. It supports 82 endpoints. That grows constantly. What that means to you is that if you want to gain access to your data in a certain way, if you want to have new systems integrate, maybe we work with the FreePour scale system. They actually count product and then push those counts to your system through our API. So it gives us avenues for either you to get more data or for you to get more integrations done in a cost-effective way. So retail, again, the sales guide's going to walk through the full detail of it. It is a complete retail system. We manage major league sports teams to major resort brands to high-end gift shops. So again, there's lots that the software does. I'll let the sales guide walk you through it in the demonstration. There are lots of stores that we support. There's lots of client types that we support. And this is not all of them. It's just they typically fall within these kind of buckets. But you can see, we do resorts, hotels, casinos, clubs, museums, universities. I mentioned the major league and minor league sports stadiums and sports teams we work with. We do a lot of brewing operations. Restail is interesting. That's our term for these concepts that combine both restaurant and retail into a single concept. We do attractions like the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We do a lot of just retail. We're in some corporate centers, some airports, a lot of hospitals, and then zoos and parks. But really, it's any retail operation where one of our point of sale partners makes sense. We can fulfill that back of the house side. Food and beverage, again, I'll let the sales guide walk through it, but we can start with a very easy to use cost of goods sold where we can map up the revenue from point of sale against the inventory cost and then the usage between two physicals. So very easy to get up and going and get control of your cost. You can step into recipes, maybe just to do costing, or maybe you actually want to have those attached to menu items so that you're actually now at the actual versus theoretical and the perpetual inventory. We support all the workflows you're going to need, like counting batch items and physicals, commissary operations. Again, I'll let the sales guide really walk you through it. From a food and beverage perspective, similar to retail, a lot of this is, duplicated. Resorts are up here, hotels are up here, but we start getting into franchise groups. We may get into commissary operations, bowling centers. There's some other areas where our product, when used in food and beverage, can facilitate some other different venues. Mentioned commissary a couple of times. We did develop a very specific workflow that allows you to have the stores make requests for products via our mobile app. Those requests can be converted into a production run where you know what ingredients and also how to distribute that product to all the different prep areas. And then we have this workflow where you can transfer all those finished products out. We can have the ingredients deduct from the commissary when that occurs, and now the stores receive their, finished, in effect, retail items. So we've got a great process for that. The mobility factors in really well because the stores might do everything they need from a Yellow Dog perspective of requesting and receiving and physicals. They may do all that on their mobile apps and not need any back office capability. Last couple of slides are implementation and support. Now these are key aspects. Obviously the software has to be great. We know that. But for you to take the advantage or actually get the advantages of that great software, it has to be implemented well. It has to be sold well first, but then it has to be implemented well. Some of the things we do in that is you get a single point of contact with a clear escalation path to their manager, because we understand that you want to talk to one person who understands your business, and then if you have any concerns, you can escalate them easily. The implementation, it varies based on the project and the kind of the status of your data and where we're getting it from. Usually we tell people if it's retail, it's usually 30 to 60 days. If it's food and beverage, it might be more 45 to 70 days. And it just depends. The biggest bottleneck in this process will be you as the client in terms of how quickly can you make decisions and get us data and review data. Those are typically the bottlenecks. So we'll move as fast as you want to move. Obviously, we're adept at converting data and being creative with your existing data, advising you on what's the best path forward so you don't bring garbage, forward. And we'll be candid. We're not just going to jam stuff into the system. We're going to have hard conversations to make sure you guys get set up for success. We can do the implementations on site or remotely. If it's small, we typically always do those remote. If there's a larger team or larger number of outlets, well, we'll probably come on site for that and we can figure it out. We'll work really closely with your point of sale company to do our task in parallel with their task so that we meet in the middle before your go live, so that we basically flesh out anything, make sure, hey, we're in sync, everybody knows, hey, we're driving toward this one goal, which is to get you live in a successful manner. And so we'll work with your point of sale partner that way. And training, here's what we don't do. We don't say we're going to spend 8 hours for the next 3 days and train you. That doesn't work. What we're going to do is schedule training in bite-sized chunks where your team learns and then implements the part of the system that they need at that time. So it might be item creation and ordering is the first thing. Or maybe food and beverage, it's like, no, we got to bring in invoices or know how to do a physical. We're going to devise a schedule and leave that open-ended for a period of time so that, we may say today we need to talk about purchasing, and 2 weeks from now we've got our first physical. Well, obviously we don't want to train you on physicals today. We want to wait till 2 weeks from now where we can train you, have you implement it, and basically have that process be baked in. We have a lot of information on our website, help.yellowdogsoftware. That details all of our implementation processes and steps. It's a great resource. We put everything out there that we can so you understand everything about us. Now, after you're done with the implementation, you transition into our support group. They're here down the hall. We have our team answering the phone, so they get to know you. We are available 24/7, 365. In the after hours, we actually do have a call service that has a call tree. So they know who the person on call is, and if they can't get that person, they just start working down the tree. So, if you call after hours, you're always going to get somebody. We do have a very full-featured knowledge base with the manuals, how-tos, videos, and just a wealth of information. So we try to give our clients as much self-service information as possible. We do provide free remote training for life, and this allows you to schedule remote time up to 2 hours once a month. So if you have a new staff member or you're coming back into season and you need a refresher, we want to make sure our folks know our system and can use it effectively. We don't want to put a nickel and dime invoice as a barrier to that. Obviously, our support includes the upgrades. What we do with all our clients is schedule an annual month, week, day of week, and then AM or PM slot for all of our clients, so that guaranteed once a year we're going to chase you down to get you upgraded. Now we'll have multiple upgrades throughout the year. You're able to go online, actually to this help site, and actually request your upgrade at any time. So you always have that flexibility, but if you do nothing, we're going to make sure we upgrade you at least once a year. We do automated patches, so as we have things that can be patched and downloaded, we apply those automatically, so that helps reduce the need for upgrades when we can do little maintenance patches. Our support, one of the things I'm really proud of, we do have a very watched and fast escalation process. That there's, if there's a support issue and it can't be handled by our normal support group, it immediately goes to someone who's a senior support who's in charge of these escalations. They meet every morning with development and with kind of the brain power here. So you don't get kicked around in support. If it's significant, it's going to get basically brought up the chain of command to get the eyeballs and attention it needs on it. And to be honest, we spend roughly 20% of our development resources always working on escalations, because if there's a point of sale sync that's changed or something's broken, you're going to need a developer. They don't need to be squirreled away in a room not helping our clients. They're part of the solution here at Yellow Dog. We have annual users conference. If you go to our website, you'll see the information on our spring and fall training classes. And again, go to our main website. There's lots of support resources there where you can kind of see everything that we do and how we do it. Last slide, if there's one reason, if you said, Jay, why should we go with Yellow Dog? Here's a couple of reasons. There's always lots, but we focus on just inventory. So we're not point of sale with inventory, with property management, we just do inventory. So we do one thing, we do it well. We've been doing this for 13 years. We have a proven process that we constantly refine to be better, smarter, faster at it. So not our first rodeo. If you come on board with us, we're going to walk you through to get you, to go live safely. I think our software is simply better than the other systems that are out there in the markets that we serve, and we're constantly trying to improve it. We're affordable. Our pricing scales based on how large you are. So if you're small, the price is small. If you're larger, the price is larger. It's a very fair approach. We can move fast. Again, I own 100% of this place, so I get to say what goes, and I say developing good software, supporting good software, implementing good software goes. That's what we're about. And if we don't do it well in a particular area or need to improve it, we just do. I don't have to go to a board, get permission. And we do look at this as long-term deals. This is not a sale, it's a relationship. Again, we've got clients who have been in with us now 10, 11, 12, 13 years. And I hope they're with us for another 10, 11, 12, 13 years. So thanks for watching this. I know this was a good bit of time here. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of the culture and the understanding of who we are. It goes beyond the software. My sales guys are going to do a great job walking you through the software. And, we hope we earn your business. Again, if it's the right match, then let's move forward. And we'll look forward to taking care of you guys, for a decade or more. So thanks.